All right, guys, so I took off a lot of the items, the flapper valve, the float, because I have determined, just based on the water running into the bowl, that it is actually a ring that wraps around, or rather a gasket, that is, as you can see, wearing out, and it's causing the toilet to run. So done plenty of these, so unfortunately, the only option is to disconnect everything. I disconnected the line from the toilet. Just put a towel there just in case there's any water that runs. Drained everything. Actually used a towel to drain up any excess water. Remove the flapper valve and just getting ready to replace it. There are some nuts and washers on the bottom that you need to loosen and disconnect. And as you can see, there's kind of a rubber grommet, if that's what you want to call it, or a rubber piece there that with pressure creates a seal. So you want to disconnect everything, and you're actually going to remove the top of the toilet to replace that. All right, so I removed the bowl. As you can see, there is a plastic nut that you need to take off in order to take this piece off and replace it with a gasket. Now, there is a tool that will make your life a lot easier. That looks like this. Unfortunately, I got this with a kit for a 3-inch, and what I'm working with today is a 2-inch. So I'm gonna have to use some pliers and do it the old school way, like this. And we're just going to twist it off. All right, guys, got the nut off, and now I have this piece removed, and I need to replace this gasket right here. All right, I got the new gasket on there. There's the old one. As you can see, it was pretty worn, but that will cause your toilet to run and waste lots of money and lots of water. So I put the new gasket on there. It's much cheaper to just buy the gasket for a couple bucks than to buy the entire kit. You can buy the entire kit. It includes a lot of pieces, but those pieces may still be functioning, so you can save a lot of money just by buying the gasket. All right, now I put everything back. I screwed all the nuts back in, plugged everything back in. Now I have to put my flapper back on, and we'll try it out. All right, guys, so it looks like I have a leak or a running toilet. And the best way to know if you have a running toilet or if you fixed the problem is by getting some toilet paper, running it along the side of the bowl, and seeing if it stays dry. And as you can see, there's still water running down. Try it again. So you see this area here. If I wipe it, and you see it just comes right back. So where's that water coming from? Well, I changed the seal. As you can see, there's some residue from the old one yesterday, and it's still doing it. So I believe it's coming from the top. I adjusted this as high as I could. It's still happening. It looks like it needs to be raised, so I'm gonna try that next. So first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna shut off the water. We're gonna drain it, and then you're gonna need a towel to soak up some of the remaining water because you're gonna have to take this valve off. I'm gonna try to adjust it and see if that fixes the problem. But as you can see, there is still water running in there, and that's the water that you saw earlier. So let's try it. Okay, so I took all the water out, stuck a towel in there, soaked up as much as I could, because there's about 1 or 2 inches of space between where the flapper valve opens up and that seal. So our goal is to try to take this off. This valve here has a float switch on it. and see if we can adjust it. If we can adjust it to where it is actually lower, it'll stop the water before it goes over the top of this tube here, which is where I believe the water's coming in. So what you do, it's really easy. Water's already turned off, but you have a knob here. You should be able to take it off with just your hand. Loosen it up and then begin removing. All right, so there is my toilet fill valve. I bought another one just in case, but I'm gonna just try to adjust this one. But as you can see, there is a plastic ring. You need to slide that up. And then what you're gonna do is you're gonna twist this to try to get it lower so it shuts off before it hits the top of the tube. All right, guys, so now that I have moved this ring up, all you have to do is simply twist this part right here. And you're going to turn it counterclockwise or clockwise to make this adjustment go up or down. And at this, on this particular example, I want it to go down, so the float switch actually cuts off the water before it fills over the tube. All right, guys, the toilet is running perfectly. Tightened everything up. Turns out all I had to do was tighten and replace that seal. No more leaks, no more running toilet.